to our Rebels Chat episode. I'm your co-host, Anna.
And I'm Julie.
And we're excited to talk about today's episode.
I'm so excited. I actually talked about it almost all morning.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm really... These episodes did stuff to me.
Yeah. So before we get to the episode, let's talk about our outfits.
All right. I'm wearing the Sith Box from Smuggler's Bounty t-shirt that came along with it. From Smuggler's Bounty. Did I say that? Oh.
Yeah.
And it has Kylo Ren looking at the destroyed Vader helmet, and it says, "I will finish what you started." And of course, in Funko fashion, it is in pop form.
Yep.
And my Empire hat.
Where is it from?
Box lunch.
Oh, nice. Representing. So I'm wearing an Ahsoka in the galaxy or in the world between worlds shirt. I thought it was perfect for today.
It's super perfect, I think. With the constellations and everything.
I know. It's from Redbubble. I will be posting the link on the show notes. I love it. It's so comfy. And then in the back, it's kind of like see-through.
Yeah,
Super
I love those
awesome.
type of shirts from there.
Yeah, and I'm drinking coffee because I'm falling asleep today. My box lunch. Gifted by Julie.
So there's not too much in news as of this week, but there's a couple of things, small things, regarding Rebels, right?
Yeah, so Rebels last episode. It's going to be Monday. But it will be a 90-minute special. So I'm excited because we need more than just...
Yeah, I know. I was trying to think at the end of this last week's episode, I was like, how are they going to wrap up everything in just 2 episodes? I don't know. I'm not ready, but I am also very ready. It's a very conflicting feeling.
Do you think that'll end by Rogue One? Wait. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. And then the next news is that Star Wars The Last Jedi is nominated for 5 Academy Awards, Oscars. And the Oscars are this Sunday, so I'm really, really hoping that they win because, I mean, I could just count on the top of my head of so many sound moments in The Last Jedi that were just, like, breathtaking.
Yeah.
And I was watching now the Star Wars show and how they use so much of, like, the old sound and what they did for, like, R2-D2 and the guy, which I think it's Brett. I'm forgetting his name. So it's pretty cool. I mean, they deserve it because I just think of that scene with General Holdo's sacrifice. So I'm like...
Even the lack of sound does things in film.
Or even like the Force space-time sound.
The slight things that were inside that a lot of people probably didn't even recognize or notice that was happening.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
No, I mean, the sound is so important in the movies, and we take for granted how they make sounds because I've been watching videos and I love that. How they're creative about making sounds, and it's not as easy as we think.
Oh no, I had to do a project on that a while back where like, I forgot what it's called. It's like, but there's like things like every single sound effect in film is not what you think it is at all. Like the sound of wind, the sound of stepping, it's all made in a studio.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say BB-8 sound is a bowling ball dropped.
You're right, yeah.
It's a bowling ball dropped on the floor or against something, so that's pretty cool.
I love it. It's so cool. I wish we could see like a whole documentary just on like the sounds of Star Wars and how they make them. I bet it's like hilarious to watch too.
So it's pretty awesome. And now
the episodes.
How do we even start?
Oh man. Well, I guess we could start with the wolf and the door.
Yeah.
Right? So the episode starts off and it's already like with him calling the wolves and like them all coming up and like it's so different seeing the wolves in this episode than in the last episode already because they're like Ezra knows what he has to do. They're calm. They're not growling. It's perfect.
And they trust him because like you said, he has a purpose now and he knows what to do. And Ezra has like he keeps maturing and he's even more mature in this episode because he takes like he takes charge. Like, he sees that Hera is still not good and she's still grieving. So it's like, okay, no, here's what we're going to do.
And I'm still leading.
Yeah.
Because I need to.
And yeah, when he calls the wolves, it's pretty cool because in this episode, the wolves do show up for the other crew, for the other
members,
for the rest of the crew. So I thought that was pretty cool.
I loved it. And it was actually, this is a little off topic, but it has to do with Ezra's maturity. I was convincing somebody to watch Rebels, and I was kind of warning them because I feel like whenever I've watched Rebels, or when people told me to watch it at the beginning, they were like,
Me?
They were like, just get through season 1 and then everything else is perfect. And I realized that season 1 is like way more of a kid show than season 2. Season 2 is more of a kid show than season 3, etc., etc. And I think that is actually super intentional based on Ezra. I think Ezra was like a child in the first season, so what we saw was very like childlike manner, and it's just grown from there.
Now the thing is that, I mean, we love every character in Rebels, but we gotta realize that this Ezra is the main character, and it's cool because we saw Anakin from, hey baby Anakin, to like, whoa, I'm grow up.
Yeah, like we didn't see the in between.
We just heard stories, and then in Clone Wars he was already an adult.
Yeah.
So it was cool because, first of all, yes, it is a kid's show at the end of the day. But like Filoni has said so much, it is for everyone, because you see how, like, you think, and I probably thought at some moments, like, oh, Ezra's so annoying.
Yeah.
But he's a kid. I mean, I work with kids, so I know there's gonna be
those
days
moments.
like today that a kid was being annoying, but it's a kid being a kid.
Right.
And he had no parents, so what do we expect?
Exactly.
From a kid with no parents, and, you know.
And now there's like not even like one moment in this entire season where I've been like, Ezra's so annoying. This entire season I'm just like, Ezra, yes.
Yes,
Ezra.
you root for Ezra, and that's amazing because that's part of being a human being. Like, we all grow up, and some people take longer than others, but it's normal.
Right.
So yeah.
I love Ezra's growth throughout the show, and I think this moment with him calling the wolves himself and like leading that, I think that was a moment that was like really, really good for him. That was like needed throughout the whole series.
That, I mean,
well, the whole episode, but that moment is what started it. So
yeah, the wolves have been such like my favorite thing. But I love seeing Hera putting on her goggles for the first time.
That was really cool. And I like that they specifically highlighted the fact, like, they had an entire moment of just her.
Yes, like, thank you. I mean, they look awesome. I wanted to see them on. I was writing a post today, and I'm like, that was the first thing I wrote. I'm like, Hera finally puts on her goggles. So, thank you, Filoni.
And I really liked Zeb and Chopper's interaction with the wolf, too.
Oh, Chopper. Yeah. I love it. He gets bit by the wolf, and like, okay, you come here, you're being annoying.
It's awesome.
It's pretty cool. But this episode it kind of shows everybody's specialty. That's how I saw it at times.
I loved what they did with Sabine in this. I was going, you know me.
Yeah.
I was going crazy with that.
I think it was necessary. Like, we had forgotten a little bit maybe about her art background because we hadn't seen her, like, maybe like decorating some some ships and whatever.
Or like spray painting,
Yeah, but at the end of the day, and like, she's more than a Mandalorian. And I think this episode was so beautiful because you saw both sides of Sabine.
Right.
You saw the Mandalorian side being herself and be like, you know, I'm smarter than you. But at the same time, like, she told Ezra how to do, like, look, these are the hands. This is what you have to do.
And I was like, yes.
Yeah, and then I think it was so nice to see Zeb taking a step back and being with Hera and kind of like being that big brother, like,
yeah, he was like, come on, Hera, you need to let the kids go.
Yeah,
you need to let them do their thing.
I think that was beautiful. I think because we don't see so much emotion from Zeb because he's the tough guy.
Yeah,
and we saw before the last episode him hugging Ezra, and now this moment with Hera. I thought that was beautiful.
I did too. So I really liked just Sabine's role in the entire episode, that like she was so needed, because I felt like she's been very background for a while, minus like the first like 2 or 3 episodes,
more of a co-pilot.
Yeah, but like seeing her in this was like so cool. Seeing the art was amazing. I know you watched Rebels Recon. It was the first 2D art they ever did in Rebels.
I was so excited about that.
Me too.
So I'm a 2D. I love her. So when I saw that and I saw the wolves moving, I was like,
right?
Yes!
Oh my god. And like the freaking the mother, the father, the father, daughter, and son. holy crap. Just like, I know like it was symbolic for like the Jedi Temple and everything, but the symbolism of like the Force itself within that painting, whew.
I mean, it's that I love and how Filoni has brought parts of Clone Wars in this, because I mean, and he mentioned in an interview that I was watching the Star Wars show now, like he mentions how George Lucas was the one that created the Mortis gods and everything, but he've always wanted to honor him with like bringing them back and always being a part of the story. And I thought this was the perfect way, because the Jedi Temple is not just for the Jedis to go and have fun or to be there to meditate. It's always like, bring you back to like what it is, what the Force is, and what's your role in this universe, and balance. Right. You have it right there. And we notice all those, one of my favorite arcs in Clone Wars, that Mortis gods. Yeah. It's so beautiful.
And the way that the hands were positioned, like initially, like the dark was in a fist, and then like the way that he fell towards the end, it was like beautiful. I'd also like to talk about the use of the Force that Rebels takes. Like, I feel like it's the most we've learned about the Force in any Star Wars film, TV show, book, anything. It's like all like right there, and I think it's incredible.
They really go outside the box, and this is Filoni's love for like the mythology and for pushing boundaries. Like, okay, so they were able to make this Jedi Temple art move, and this was the gateway to go inside the temple. And then once they are inside the temple, they find the Harry Potter symbol. Just kidding. No, but they go in, and then time travel.
Yeah,
like what? We've never seen that in Star Wars. So I think that was just like, is this an intro to what we're going to see in the future?
Right. And, like, just like what we talked about, the wolves, like, the way they ran, like, they guided Ezra still.
The Last Jedi. Yeah. That moment, I was like, oh, this is The Last Jedi. Finn and Rose in the... Oh, my goodness, I forgot
the casino.
In Canto Bight, but I forgot the creature's name.
Fathiers.
Yes, that was the same. Through the grass and how they were with the planet in the background. That was so The Last Jedi. And obviously, we know that Rian Johnson and Filoni collaborated a lot with the movie. So I was like, look at that.
The whispers that Rey heard, and then the whispers. So that's my favorite.
I imagine.
That's what did stuff to me. Like, every single one I heard, I was just like, arrows being thrown at me at every moment.
So it's funny because this show I put captions on because I always think the wolves are gonna say something that I'm not gonna understand. Because the first time I was like, what? The first time they say doom, I was like, doom? It like what is this? And then until we were talking, then the book or whatever his name. So I always put captions, and I'm so glad I did it, because once Ezra walked in the temple, and even before with the wolves guiding them, and they had their Force moment because they, I guess, teleported to where they was. It was crazy that all the quotes were so spot on. Like, they were so important. And that's when I knew, I'm like, okay, Ahsoka came with like 3 quotes in there. Does that mean this is the time?
I also loved that with those quotes, that's how they showed that the Force was throughout time. It was timeless. Yeah. That you could go to any moment. Because they had like quotes from Phantom Menace all the way leading up to Leia saying stuff. Did they have Last Jedi stuff? Yeah. I tried to listen for Rey or Kylo or something.
They had Rey and Kylo, and they had Obi-Wan, they had Anakin.
Leia. I teared up.
Leia had a couple. So, but also, I like that this is not only about, the Jedi itself, but it showed like the Force, whether good or bad. And I thought that was really good because it had Vader in it too. So I'm like, And then we realized, like, this is why the Emperor wants this so bad. Right. Because he wants to control the universe, because he's the worst. I mean, he's not like the worst evil, but yeah, he's I can't even say words. Like, he's so evil. Yeah. And I love that they brought Ian McDiarmid. He's right there. Ian McDiarmid back to the show. And the fact that he said Ahsoka Tano in his voice, I was like, oh my goodness, that was so cool.
It was. And Ezra, right?
Ezra Bridgers and Ahsoka Tano. I thought that was cool. But it showed how, in another type of evil, Emperor Palpatine is. Like, you know, he didn't just want to control the galaxy. He wanted to control time and space and go back, and you never know what he would do with that.
Who knows? It's crazy.
So glad he just didn't get them.
Oh yeah, but all of it was so great, and hearing the quotes too was like, they didn't just say like quotes about like the Jedi being good. They used the quotes that like Obi-Wan and Yoda said about the Force itself. And when I heard Yoda's quote from when he was talking to Luke, I was like,
and about letting go.
Yeah.
Yes. So
not this crude matter. I was like, oh.
So of course one of my favorite parts was Ahsoka in this episode. But like I was telling you before we started recording,
we're in the worlds between worlds now, right? That's what.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
The transition, guys. I love that the story of Ahsoka, what came in this episode, was like that. I didn't want more. I didn't want less. It was just perfect. Like she. Of course, I love her. She's one of my favorite characters. I mean, after Leia is her.
Right.
But I didn't want this to take away from the Ghost Crew.
Right.
And I didn't want it to take away from Ezra and being there. I just love that she's the one that, even though she lost her master, and we're seeing this incredible battle, she was the one that has to teach Ezra about letting go of her master. I thought that was so special, and that was also helping her. And she knew, like, I can't go with you. Like,
right. Like, she knew, like, some time and space stuff would get messed up.
And I mean, it's a little ironic that you got saved and he can't save his master, but
right.
But it was needed, and I loved it. And it was so sad because in that moment we realized that Anakin is completely gone.
And she never gets him back.
And she knows that in that moment that he was going to kill her.
Yeah.
And, you know, if it wasn't for Ezra, I don't think she would have survived that battle. As powerful and badass that she is.
Right. I really like also that, like, as you said, it doesn't interrupt the Rebel story, but at the same time, it doesn't interrupt her story.
Exactly. Like, I know this is not the last we're going to see of Filoni.
Filoni's going to bring her back.
Or, if there's another book, I'll be even fine with another book. Mm-hmm. If I don't see her the last 2 episodes, I'll be fine with not seeing her the last 2 episodes. But I just think that it was so nice to see her back and to see her realizing.
And just to know that she survived that. Yeah. That she didn't fall, she went downstairs.
Exactly.
As we all thought she did anyway.
Yeah.
And to see it as her. I know we mentioned this last episode that we weren't aware, like, we weren't sure how we were going to see her.
Exactly.
I'm happy we saw her as her.
Yeah, and I'm happy that we saw the owl, which I forgot the specific name,
as
the daughter, and her talking about she saved my life once.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
I like it. I was really pleased with all of it. I was pleased how she was the one who Ezra needed in that moment in order for him to let go of the master, because she's the only other person, I think, who has, like, felt that.
Yeah, aside from Kanan himself.
Right.
But
Kanan's just was Kanan's was the same story as Ezra. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Kanan's master died in Order 66, so it's a little different because it was a time where they were killing all Jedis, and maybe she saved him. So I thought it was beautiful, the way they brought back Ahsoka and way...
I didn't even think about that Kanan sacrificed himself the same way his master sacrificed herself.
And that's why Ahsoka is telling him, it's important for you to realize what Kanan did for you and for everybody else.
Yeah.
He sacrificed for the good. If you bring him back, then his sacrifice is in vain.
Yeah, it was in vain, and they all would have died.
Yeah.
Exactly what she said, that fire would have...
Yeah.
The thing with Ahsoka was there was a moment of opportunity for Ezra to grab her.
Yeah.
With Kanan, there was none.
Yeah, and the moment that Ahsoka puts her blades down in the temple, she's trying to escape. She's not fighting back in that moment. She's trying to escape, but she knows that it's not going to work out. He's going to come and swing. So it was a great opportunity.
More of that fight to learn too.
I know, man. So much. That's such a beautiful fight.
Yeah.
It's the world between worlds was done
beautifully.
it was simple but beautiful.
I don't know if it had any symbolism in it, but like I think it might have. When Ezra grabs Ahsoka and pulls her back, we see like the world falling apart in the triangle door, and Vader falls into a white pit, like a glowing white. And I'm just like, he's falling to the light.
Well, I mean,
timeline-wise, slowly.
No, I don't know. But I did like that, like, we didn't know how everything, like, crumbles so fast. Mm-hmm. And now we know because it was Ahsoka kind of, like, maybe even, I think she even was sacrificing herself when she put her blades down on the floor.
When she pushed Ezra and Kanan out, I think that's what she was sacrificing herself as well. Yeah,
so that was really cool. And I love how there's, like, the glowing circles every time they step.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if you've seen this, and Filoni actually drew for, like, cards or something, Ahsoka in all red with the wolves around in the circle, kind of like how the gateway is. I will post it in the show notes. So I'm like, this whole time it's been there, and we didn't know. Yeah. That's why at the beginning I thought that, because I have that picture on my phone, okay. I thought that it's an old picture.
It's like a sketch, right?
No, it's because I used to have those Topps Cards app, and that's how I have them. But I thought for a second Ahsoka was coming, we've talked about it. I thought that she was going to be a wolf.
I thought she was going to be the white wolf.
Me too, especially being white and...
Yeah, with those weird lines that looked kind of like her.
Yeah, but then I was like, I'm so glad that it's not her, because I wanted the wolves to be the wolves itself. Right. But, and then the Emperor coming through and doing his red, which is...
It impressed me that he couldn't go all the way through, right?
Yeah. Because the thing, it seemed like you can only go in through the gateway, or they will have to let you in. So even though he was doing his weird blue magic, it wasn't enough. But at the same time, it was enough for him to like put his almost hand through.
I really like, and they showed it like struggling.
Yeah, and Ezra says like he's getting in.
Right. I also like that they did that weird magic pot boil thing, because like we know that there's like other dark force powers, like we all know that, but we don't really know like how dark they are. And I'm sure, like, I remember when I read the Ventress book, they talked about the fact that like the witches from that planet did like a lot of things like that. We saw it even in Clone Wars. So I know that there's like other crazy things that Darksiders do that we just haven't seen that often, because we've only had like Vader and Maul. Yeah, and I really like that even though, like, he's in the background again, even though, like, he's the Emperor of the Galaxy, he's still, like, behind. It almost looked like he was, like, the Wizard of Oz.
Yes!
Where he was, like, behind the curtain, and he's like...
But I can't get you, but I'm here. Like, it was so powerful. And then at the same time, I love, like, looking at the outside of the Jedi Temple and looking at Sabine...
I loved
being Sabine.
Yeah, I was worried that she was about to get tortured for a minute, and I thought it was gonna happen, and then I'm glad it didn't. But also, like, the way it was kind of like she was being tortured. She was being forced.
She got punched.
Yeah, that's why. Like, from the moment that happened, I was like, oh shit. Please don't die, Sabine. Please don't die.
You know what I love? And obviously this is like off topic and before, that even though she was wearing the Scout Trooper outfit, you could tell it was a woman. I was like, yes, like, thank you.
I loved it because I saw her and Ezra walking next to each other. I'm like,
you could tell.
Become a man.
Yeah.
And Sabine is such a woman. Oh.
Yes, I love that. Thank you, Rebels, for that. Because I'm like, no, you're not all the same. So that was pretty cool. And then I love how quick Hera and Zeb
go to protect their baby.
Yeah, and the signal, I mean, they're all so in sync. And it's like, so great. Like, Sabine was like, Hera asked her, where's Ezra? And she's like, on his way. Like, how did you know? That's how, like, they're all in sync and they really know each other.
One thing I would like to note is, I think it was in the first episode of this week.
Okay.
When Ezra was like, oh, Sabine, do you recognize anything on this painting? And there's the owl, and like zoomed into the owl. Sabine has that on her arm. How did she not recognize it?
That is so true.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
it's like another owl.
Maybe it's because it's a specific one. Because
Okay.
I know there's different ones that we've seen. And I mean, yeah, maybe it was the time for Ezra to say, "Oh, I recognize that she's always there when Ahsoka is around."
Yeah, definitely.
So maybe it was also for him to showcase that and give us a little bit of like, "Oh, Ahsoka's coming."
Right. Yeah, that's what I thought too. But I was just like, Sabines.
But that is so true. That is so true. I hadn't thought about that. That was good. But The Last Jedi scene in this Chopper and that huge.
Yeah.
What was it? The
it's
truck
not an
thing.
AT-AT. It's an AT. It's not even AT-ST.
No, I think it was just one of those trucks that grabs things. Like, I don't think it was. It?
Because in Last Jedi, it was an AT thing.
I know. The ATM-6 was in The Last Jedi. But in this one, it looked like the Ford.
It did look like a truck. Yeah.
Those one of my
fork-
kids would
fork
know
truck?
would know where are you that was so The Last Jedi, and that was like instead of BB-8 Chopper here rescuing the world.
BB-8 took some notes. Maybe Chopper's his dad. They're both orange,
but they're different droids. I mean, you're destroying your. So I thought that there was a lot of The Last Jedi in this, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I wish I could have Filoni here sitting down and asking him so many questions.
I saw it super late on Monday night, and I couldn't sleep after because I was so excited, and I was like, I don't know who to talk to about this right now.
I watched the episode twice. I watched it this morning because I wanted.
I was gonna watch it the next morning too.
But I really hope that Filoni doesn't stop and he keeps on giving us these good things up. Because even though they are animations, they're awesome. Like,
oh my god, I forgot I was going to talk about this and I totally forgot. The animation quality was so insane in this episode. There was a moment that I was just like, oh my god.
Every time I see the
animation
wolves
is so good.
And their hair like flowing.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
It was a moment with Hera. And she was like, I think it was when the kids were leaving and she was like nervous. But like the emotions that they showed in this episode through the animation.
And we didn't talk about Ghost Kanan. That moment.
We didn't talk about Ghost Kanan.
I cried in that moment when
you mean like, yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
I guess, don't kill your
I'm
hands.
really excited.
Yes, that moment that she's holding him. And it's just so perfect because her hands are like in his cap. That was so beautiful.
Oh my god.
And I love that they showed Dad Kanan. That they didn't show blind Kanan. That they showed Kanan at his best.
Mm-hmm.
Good
and not only that, but she knew that Ghost him was around.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't have to know about the wolf. She didn't have to know about anything. Because at the end, when the temple was destroyed, she even asked, he's really gone now, right? And it was just like...
Chills.
You're not even force sensitive and you knew this.
It's
crazy. Maybe she's a little force sensitive.
Well, they were husband and wife.
Mm-hmm.
Without them getting married.
But space mom and dad.
Yeah, so they had the connection. And that moment also of Ezra saying goodbye to Kanan at the end.
I'm getting like so many chills right now. Just thinking about it, talking about it.
I think that we saw, and it's so crazy. I mean, my study psychology, so I've seen like the steps of the grieving that Ezra has done, and it's just like him saying goodbye at that moment was just like, oh, the acceptance that he has right now is so beautiful, and it's so
and visually it was stunning. The fact that it was on like the horizon, I feel like Star Wars has like a really big thing for horizons.
Yeah, I was telling a coworker today, I'm like, that scene only that scene was only missing the sunset.
Yeah.
The Tatooine suns right there. The twin suns. It was just missing that because it had everything. The music, the scenery, the smoke, everything.
The moment the music came on, like I can't express to you how much I loved this episode. From start to finish. Like it got me really hard. It sparked a fire. Like the rebellion.
So, what do we expect for the finale?
Did you watch the
Yes.
Okay. So
I've been so bad. I've been watching trailers. Like, I even watched the one in the Star Wars show. I'm like, I just need all of the rebels. I don't want to let it go.
Okay, so you saw the one in Recon.
Yes.
So we know that Hondo comes back.
Yes, I'm so excited about that.
I am too. I love him. He's one of my favorite, like, super side characters.
Yeah.
From Clone Wars, I love him. I am excited about that. But in those scenes, it looks like there's a world that Ezra dies, I feel.
I don't think he will die.
No?
But I do think that's something, like, they separate, or I don't know.
I think something's gonna happen. Because, like, the only reason I feel like, but Filoni has kind of contradicted this already, but I feel like there would be more of him elsewhere. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the movies lately, we've seen a little Easter eggs about,
Right.
There wasn't much on The Last Jedi.
Maybe he'll come out in Solo. That'd be
Interesting.
That'd be cool.
It'll be interesting. But one quick thing about it is Captain Rex already looking like Captain Rex from Battle of Endor.
Well, we gotta remember that when Luke becomes Luke, and like from that moment to Battle of Endor, it's not that many years in between.
No, there are. I think
I don't even know. It's years though, right? It is like a couple.
Well, but one of the scenes that they show in the previews, and I might just me because I watch Rogue One all the time, look like Rogue One, look like with a lot of ships, like look like kind of the beginning, and I don't know. I'm very interested in seeing how. I don't want it to be so Rogue One because obviously they need their story, but I'm very interested to see how, if it is going to tie into another movie, how they're going to do it.
I think it'd be cool if it tied into Rogue One, but like we see their side of it completely. Mm-hmm. So we don't see like anybody on the planet. Forgot the name.
Lothal?
No, Rogue One planet. Scarif.
Uh-huh.
I hope we don't see any of that. We don't see anybody of the other ships, but we see what's going on with the Ghost Crew, and maybe like what happened after Rogue One, like when it ties into Leia and everything. Maybe she'll get a call from Leia, like
I want, even if it's like the last 3 seconds, to show like something that ties into where the storyline is.
Right, because like I feel like we've already seen like Ezra on Tatooine. So, like, I almost want a tie-in to, like, that storyline more than the Rogue One storyline. But we'll see.
We'll see. It will be very interesting, and I really can't wait. I'm scared, but I can't wait. I can't wait for the next episode because it's just going to be too good.
Yeah. So, what was your favorite, like, moment or thing from these two?
So, my favorite moment, I'll have... there were so many.
I know.
The whole deconstruction of Ezra and Sabine with the art and going in the gateway of the temple, I loved it. Seeing the Mortis gods, and obviously one of my favorite things was Ahsoka coming back.
Right.
Showing us that she lives and she's okay.
Yeah, that was great. I gotta say my favorite was just like the first moment when Ezra was just like wandering throughout the world, between worlds, just hearing all the voices and like seeing what the Force was. And then I think as a second would probably be the Mortis Gods art bit. Because that was just so cool. And Sabine freaking figuring out how to close it without anybody else's help.
Yeah, that was really good. Her. I mean, she didn't figure it out by herself. Yeah, it was the other guy.
You know what I mean. None of the Ghost Crew.
She told Ezra how to close the gun. Yeah. So, guys, this was our little Rebels chat about the last 2 episodes. If you have any questions, comments, let us know.
We will be watching the next episodes, obviously. So if you just want to talk to us about that or want to say anything that we talk about on our show for the next time, let us know on one of our various social media accounts.
Okie dokie, guys. May the Force be with you.
And good luck in that season finale.
Bye.